The Parkour Calculator is a Minecraft mod that allows you to create TASs for Minecraft parkour. First, click on File and create a new TAS. Then click on Save. Now right-click and add 30 new ticks. Right-click again and set to user position. Now the TAS starts exactly where you stand and faces exactly where you face. Now let me apply W presses on all 30 ticks, have the player sprint, and have the player jump on tick 3. You can see how the path updates instantly. This path is not an approximation, it is exactly how the player would move inside of the game, without any drift. And of course, you're able to adjust the yaw as well. And it updates instantly inside the game. You also don't even need to use the interface to tune your facing. For example, just click on the tick and move it around. And you see how the path updates instantly. In the UI, you can also select individual ticks, for example, tick 8. Here, it now shows me where exactly this tick is located. I can also hold Shift and click on another tick, and now this selects a sequence of ticks. The colorization is heavily customizable inside of render colors. Here you can just select whatever you want. There are also many more settings. Hover over them to read their tooltips to know what they are for. This tool also offers a rich set of operations on rows. For example, if I select a row and right-click, I can add rows above, below, or at the end. I can delete the row, I can lock the yaw value, or I can duplicate all the selected rows. Those operations also work on multiple selections, deleting a list of rows, and you're able to drag around ticks as you wish. Now I have finished the task, so let's replay it. You can even pause mid-game and it will resume from there. There are also settings to keep the path enabled and to keep the input table shown. If you press play now, you see how the path stays and the input table scrolls down. Now don't forget to save. You can press Ctrl S and it saves the task. If you want to share the task with a friend, just click on Help, open Save folder, and it opens the folder where you can find the file. Your friend can then just click on File and import the JSON. Now onto the angle solver. The angle solver can be activated by going on View and selecting Angle Solver. This expands the tick inputs by 2 new columns, constraints and states. I advise you to shrink down the scaling. I use 1.5, otherwise it just takes up too much space. The angle solver is able to solve individual jumps very efficiently and can keep up with Wolfram. On some solves, it's even more precise than Wolfram by E-4 to E-5. On others, it is less precise by E-4 to E-5. But whatever solution it finds, it is applicable in-game. On longer solves, I focused on speed instead of precision. It is capable to solve up to 850 ticks and 200 constraints in under 10 seconds. However, it must be noted that those solves are far from optimal. The angle solver is quite complex and will get its own tutorial. I will just show what it is capable of in this video. For this task, I have defined the constraints already, as well as the ground states for all the ticks. Essentially what I told it to do is get on this block by tick 15, land on this block by tick 27. Here are constraints that tell it to avoid this pane, and finally land on tick 39 on this block, and lastly tick 50 must be around this gold block. Now when I click on solve, it calculates all the yaw values required. And as you see, it found yaw values that fit all the constraints and therefore was able to solve this course. Now let's watch what it found. The solver also shows how the constraints are satisfied here. You can also see the details, how long it took, this case 9.2 milliseconds, and also see what solver it used. Usually the receding horizon solver is very imprecise. There are a lot of customizations and they get quite complex, so feel free to reach out to me or others that are already used to working with this tool. Now finally I want to show you one last extreme example. Yndranth has created a task for this map called Nightmare, and this map has a couple very precise jumps. At the start we have a 5-1, later we have a 4x3, there's a triple neo, and at the end there's a triple 45. Yndranth has already defined all the constraints inside of this map. And now when I click on solve, it is able to resolve all of these constraints within around 6 seconds. Once again, this is just as optimal as the constraints are, and within the constraints I have no guarantee that the turns itself are optimal. The Parkour Calculator is available for Forge 1.8.9, Forge 1.12.2, and Fabric 1.21.10. It is open source and you can find it on GitHub. And finally, I want to say a huge thank you to Bacon Nerd, Curiosity, Ham Samich, Kebabs, Yndranth, Draku, Prograde, Quartz, and Spibu, as well as Telv and Scribble. I hope I pronounce your names correctly. All of you have pushed me quite a bit, and without you, I would have not been able to get this mod where it is now. Thank you.